Ladies and gentlemen, would everyone please stand for the pledge? At this time, I'd like to introduce Corporal Tom Callahan, Army veteran. Corporal Callahan has served in the military for 14 years. A member of the United States Army, Corporal Callahan was stationed in Missouri, active in the reserves and the National Guard. A resident of Dunmore, is currently employed for many years as a deputy sheriff with Lackawanna County Sheriff's Department. He has earned the Expert Shooting Medal, Expert Grenade Medal, and Good Conduct Medal, just to name a few. Tom, thank you for your service. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could everyone
It was
please...
an honor and a privilege. Thank you.
Oh, Tom, thank you for being here, and thank you for your service. Thank you, Tom. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to have a moment of silence. We've 2 weeks ago, we had a horrible situation where 15 Marines, 1 sailor were killed in a military plane crash. Corporal Dan Baldessari, Staff Sergeant Robert Cox, Captain Sean Elliott, Major Kane Godot, Sergeant Chad Jensen, Gunnery Sergeant Brendan Johnson, Sergeant Julian Cavan, Staff Sergeant William Joseph Kundrat, Sergeant Talon Leach, Sergeant Owen Leon, Navy Hospital Corpsman, 2nd Class Navyman, Sergeant Joseph Murray, Corporal Colin Schaefer, Sergeant Dietrich Shaman, and Staff Sergeant Joshua Snowden. And on top of that, which I think is totally atrocious, we lost the Southport Police Lieutenant Aaron Allen. He was shot 14 times on the scene of an overturned car by one of the occupants. He was going to the car to get them out. When he pulled the door open, he was shot. I'd like to keep all of our servicemen and our police officer in our hearts and our prayers, and keep our thoughts with their family and friends while they're going through this trying time. And this situation with law enforcement just should not have even happened. A moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to bring this Wednesday, August 2nd, 2017, Board of Commissioners to order at 10:08 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room. I'd like to make a motion for the reading of the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
A roll call?
Commissioner Notarianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley.
Yes. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Do we have anybody? Okay. We'll go right into resolutions. 17-0203.
Approving county current payables be resolved.
I have to abstain on that. I'm in there.
Okay.
County does hereby approve the following payables from the Lackawanna County General Fund, numbers 247442 through 247746, inclusive, totaling $2,233,436.97. Electronic fund transfers, including all payroll accounts, totaling $3,807,040.18.
I'd like to make a motion to approve current payables. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Roll call?
Commissioner Notarianni.
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings.
I just have to abstain because I have a payment from when I went to CCAP. I'm not sure, Solicitor Sarah, if I should have done that, but that's what I felt was appropriate. So there's a payment to
She
me.
didn't know she should abstain because of the cost of going to CCAP. No, that's legitimate thing.
Is that okay, or what do I do with that?
You're-
You can abstain or vote for, or either way.
Yeah.
Do whatever you wish.
But it's part of your job.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's no problem with you voting
For it. Well, I'll abstain just to be on the safe side. Thanks.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 17-0202, approving projects at Pennsylvania TLTC.
Approving a project for Pennsylvania LTC. Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County declaring that it's desirable for the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania, and the area served by the Lackawanna County facilities for the Montgomery County Higher Education and Health Authority to undertake a project for Pennsylvania LTC, Inc., and improving in accordance with Section 14760 of the Internal Revenue Code as amended, the issuance of the authority bonds, whereas pursuant to this act, created Montgomery County Education, financing the authority, whereas Pennsylvania LTC is a nonprofit corporation operating in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, whereas the authority has authorized the issuance of these bonds pursuant to resolution, whereas pursuant to the Authorities Act, the authority has requested the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County to declare by resolution this project is desirable for the health, safety, and welfare for the people of Lackawanna County in this said facility, whereas according to the said section of the Internal Revenue Code and as amended, it is acceptable for Lackawanna County to pass the resolution submitted before the Lackawanna County Board of Commissioners this day, August 2nd, 2017.
Okay, is the board
And we have available with us today Ellen Craven, Administrator for the Linwood Nursing and Rehabilitation Center in Lackawanna County, and this was submitted to us by bond counsel from Philadelphia, the respectable Ballard and Spar.
Good morning, Ellen.
Good morning.
Do you want to just talk a little bit
I'm just
about?
I'm just gonna talk a little bit about our project. We have been an integral part of healthcare in Scranton for over 100 years. The building was originally constructed in 1914 as the Municipal Hospital for Contagious Disease, or the East Mountain TB Sanitarium. That being said, it is quite antiquated. Oh, sorry. It is quite antiquated. It's not feasible to remodel. We have waivers for the square footage of the rooms. The corridors are not up to today's codes. They're only 5 feet wide. The bathroom doors can only accommodate a standard-sized wheelchair, nothing wider. So we are proposing to demolish that entire side of the building and construct a 2-story building with 46 patient rooms. The architects, I've brought a picture if you'd like to see it. The architects did a great job of keeping it residential looking since we are located in a neighborhood. The demand is there. Lackawanna County has a very high elderly population, and as we baby boomers age, the demand is going to be even higher.
What's the location?
100 Linwood Avenue in Scranton.
Okay. Okay.
It's not the best picture, but if you would like to see. Can you see it from there?
Okay. Can you bring it up to the commissioners?
Hi, Ellen. Thank you.
How are you?
Good. How you doing? Oh, that's nice.
So this will be the replacement.
Yeah. Oh, they're not going to keep it one. So
Well,
where's this one?
unfortunately, even though East Mountain is entirely rock where we want to build,
Oh,
it is not. So we have to go up 2 stories.
2 stories.
And so,
wow. Yeah, there's a lot of rock on these.
I know, except where I want to build.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? Okay, I'd like to make a motion approving the project for Pennsylvania TLC.
Second.
Second, roll call.
Commissioner Niteriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks for coming in, Ellen. Thank you.
Thank you.
17-0131.
This is appointments to the Lackawanna County Multipurpose Stadium Improvement Board. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County on March 12, 2014, established an improvements board, whereas pursuant to Section 8 2.02C1 of the multipurpose stadium lease by and between the Lackawanna County Stadium and the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees LLC. The lease agreement parties must establish a board of directors defined in the lease agreement as the improvements board for the purpose of maintaining the capital improvement fund and overseeing the use of funds available in the capital improvement fund for capital improvements as those terms are defined in the lease agreement. The lease agreement further states the improvement board shall consist of 2 individuals appointed by the lessee board members and 2 individuals appointed by the Lackawanna County Commissioners as board members. Each individual designated by the county may be removed and may be replaced by the county at any time. Any capital improvement for which the improvements board authorizes the use of funds from the capital improvements fund shall be an authorized capital improvement as the term is defined in the lease agreement. Be it further resolved that in accordance with this section 802 of the lease agreement aforesaid, the Lackawanna County Commissioners do hereby appoint the Honorable Solicitor John J. Brazil and Minority Solicitor John Sarah to the Improvements Board effective immediately. That's the resolution. And John Brazil, our county solicitor, will explain this if there's any questions.
Does the board have any questions?
Yes. I think it's a good move.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for appointments to the Multipurpose Stadium Improvements Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Notarianni.
No.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley.
Yes. 17-0204.
This is approving a change order. Be it resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve a $34,448 change order for a motor pit at McDade Park, previously awarded at the April 5th, 2017 Board of Commissioners meeting. And Gary Cavill, our county engineer and principal in GPI in Scranton, is here to explain why this process went over budget and what he recommends to the county commissioners they do at this time in approving the resolution.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Unfortunately, the water line layout that we had thought was over at McDade Park, we had no existing drawings, was not correct. Instead of coming out of the water meter pit and taking a 45, which you would think, which would go right to McDade Park, it went and did a 180-degree back turn where we were going to place the water meter pit. So when they were excavating for that, they ran into an 8-inch ductile iron water main that they were there till 2 in the morning fixing. So they had to fix the line, and then now we had to move the pit. So in order to keep it moving forward, that's why I'm recommending the approval of the change order. It was much higher originally. I had them drop it for the second phase, but the first phase they had 5 guys there with a bunch of machines until 2 in the morning.
Who's the company? Who's
It's SRI contractors.
SRI? What's that stand for?
Honestly, Commissioner, I don't know exactly what SRI stands for. It's SRI Demolition.
And what they were, how much more is it? Where is that on here?
The addition,
34?
yes, is $34,440. And I understand it's substantial, but I've reviewed it and I've asked them to drop it, and they did come down quite a bit from the original. But unfortunately, it's prevailing wage rate, overtime, and you're there till 2 in the morning working on
Explain
it.
to the viewing audience what prevailing wage is, please.
Prevailing wage rate is something that's required on anything that's over $28,500 for a public bid, in which that means they get all their benefits, and it's the law.
Prevailing wage is paid at 28?
At $28,500, I believe. Don, can you? I believe that's, yeah. Anything at over $28,500.
Like the project, if it costs
Exactly.
$28,500?
Yep.
Could you let Solicitor Brazil have the microphone so they can hear it on ECTV?
I would just say the prevailing wage, the amount that you have to pay prevailing wage over has pretty much been set since the 70s. I know there's been numerous attempts to up it to reflect current times, but they've all been unsuccessful. So any improvement project of a governmental body over that amount has to pay prevailing wage by law.
And prevailing wage is?
It's a whole spectrum, Commissioner, depending on what they're doing, a laborer versus an excavator or a machine operator. But it pretty much matches what union rates are.
Union rates, thank you. That's the words I was looking for.
Yes.
Thank
And the
you.
money is available in the Lackawanna County General Capital Fund to cover the expense. I've just confirmed that with the CFO, Mr. Durkin.
So, let me see if I understand this correctly. We weren't aware of where the water lines were when we were prior to doing construction?
No, we were not.
And the reason for that was?
Unless we have no existing drawings. I mean, McDade Park was built in the 80s, and we had no idea where.
Water company didn't come in and...
The water company only come into the right-of-way where they own. Once they go into our water meter pit, unfortunately, we broke our own water line, our water main, the 8-inch water main. So, yeah, they can't market. There can't be a PA1 call on private property.
And this number is because that became a huge emergency situation, basically.
Exactly. It is. And I need to keep them moving right now
It's not
because
like
I
you
could
could've
get a
waited.
delay
We
claim.
couldn't have waited a couple
No.
of days. We would have had a lake up there in a
Exactly.
couple of days.
I understand.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I couldn't do anything about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I'd like to make a motion approving change order. Do I have a second?
Second. Oh, well, give it to
Roll call.
Jerry.
Commissioner Niteriani.
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley.
Yes. Thanks, Gary.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Opportunity for the public to address the board?
Joan Hodawan, it's 220 Linden Street, Scranton. Hope you all read today's paper and saw page 3 about the event for the children, the animals at the Nancy K. Holmes Library. For people who say there's nothing for children to do in Lackawanna County or in Scranton, just read today's paper. But what I really wanted to talk about this morning, I watched with great interest a couple days ago your intervention in assisting the people in Archbald who had their water turned off. And I really felt for those people because I've been homeless as a child, and I know the trauma that they were anticipating, having to leave where they were living and not knowing what they were going to do next. I also understand that the owner's son quickly repaid the county for the money that you forwarded to reconnect them for at least 30 days for water service. And I'm happy about that. But it raises several questions in, is there a written policy in the county for the conditions under which you would provide that kind of assistance again to private citizens in that kind of emergency? I was surprised that it happened. I thought it would be more appropriate for some type of nonprofit charitable organization to have bellied up to the bar and provided short-term emergency assistance. I mean, institutions like the Red Cross. But since that didn't happen, I was wondering, is there any kind of written policy and procedure? Because Lackawanna County is a large county. I'm sure many people have been in crisis situations before, and why should they not be able to receive assistance? I mean, what are your conditions? What is the criteria? Does the money have to be repaid? You know, even a short lifeline, when you repay the money back, makes a lot of difference. And it surprised me pleasantly. But I think that if this is going to ever happen again, I think there should be a policy, because you are the stewards of our tax dollars, and you have a fiduciary responsibility, and I don't see where that fit into the budget.
When Joan is finished, we have a legal opinion on it that we could share with the Commissioner O'Malley, but I'll let her finish first.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it was inappropriate. Okay, and obviously there was no loss of funds because it was repaid and very quickly. However, I think, that in the interest of fairness to all the residents of the county, I would like to see some kind of policy. Who gets help, who doesn't? What conditions? How many people have to be involved? Is it one family or do you have to have 40 families? I don't know. But I think it is only common sense to tell us how you're going to handle such events in the future. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Anyone else?
Donnie, do you have the opinion with you?
Good morning, Commissioners.
Donnie, you can answer that when we get to the Commissioners.
My name is Martina Soden.
Hi, Martina.
I'm head of reference at the Scranton Public Library, 500 Vine Street, Scranton. I'm coming here today to let you know, and the audience to know, about a film series that we're going to be offering through the month of August. We're going to be offering a Jason Miller film series, and it starts this Friday. From 6 to 8 p.m. in the basement of the Children's Library in our community room. We're going to be watching The Exorcist. On Friday, August 11th, we're going to be from 6 to 8. We're running the championship season. Now, both The Exorcist and the championship season are for mature audiences only, so everybody who attends has to be over 18 for that one. Now, Friday, August 18th, from 6 to 8, we're going to have Rudy, and Rudy is open to families to attend.
Nice.
Yes. That'll be Friday, August 18th, so, yep, 6 to 8. So that will be open to families. And then the last date of the month, August 25th, from 6 to 8, we're going to have a reading by actor Bob Hughes. He's going to do a reading on Jason Miller, honoring him. We ask that people register, but you can also drop in, and refreshments will be provided by the Friends of the Scranton Public Library. If they have any questions on the event, they can call us up at 348-3000, extension 3023, and you can call up and register. But it's going to be a nice event. As I said, the first two are for adult audiences, but the third one and the reading are open to families. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Martinez.
Anyone else? Okay. Commissioner Cummings.
Joan, in regards to, thank you for coming in and asking, because it is important to understand, because everyone knows I'm always complaining about spending money. So what happened in this situation was it was over 40 families. That was the issue with it initially, but then what brought it to our attention to begin with was children and youth had been brought into it due to the children that were involved, which was over
26 to 30 children.
26 to 30 children. And he was having to deal with the crisis, which he called a critical crisis. He's never had to deal with this situation before with this amount of families, and had placement been required, it would have cost, was it $4,000 per month per child? Or $1,000 a day? Just $1,000 a day? So we were looking at those costs as well. And, you know, I wasn't there that night, but the next day we went up. And I have to tell you, it was quite a scene up there, and it's not over. For me, it's not over. I mean, I'm very concerned that if there are issues like this going on across our county, we need to stop them before we do come into a crisis like this. So I think it brought something to light that we weren't aware of, and of the dire situation that was occurring there. And it brought the family here. The media, with their reporting, brought the family here to rectify a situation that absolutely needs to be rectified. And initially, Commissioner O'Malley was going to put up the $4,000. So, you know, that was the person who was going to be paying that bill. We sought legal counsel, and because of the fact that it was this big of a crisis with children and youth services, along with the sheer number of families involved, And I would ask for legal counsel at this point to expand on that.
Thank you, Commissioner. The situation that presented itself at the trailer park up in the Mid-Valley, as you indicated, there was a situation which CYS was involved because there were approximately 30 children that were going to have to be placed into the foster care system at that point because there was nowhere for them to go. It would have resulted in the county paying $1,000 per day to accommodate that. So over a period, that would have been $30,000 we would have had to pay out of the budget a month. The Children and Youth budget has a line item in there. This is not the first time that Children and Youth has paid utilities for families in an emergency situation to keep the family intact so that they don't have to place them into foster care. There's actually money budgeted annually in the CYS budget, 80% of which comes from the state, okay, to cover these kind of emergency expenses. So this isn't the first time we've done, to this large extent, it's the first time we've done it. But it has been done before, and it is done on, I don't want to say on a regular basis, but it is done through CYS occasionally to keep families and children intact in their situation. In this situation, they tapped into that funding, which is already approved and is already in the 2017 budget for the county and CYS, and they used that funding to temporarily pay the water bill, to give these folks 30 days to find other housing or to accommodate their situation, just so we didn't have these approximately 30 children dumped into our foster care system, which, quite frankly, we didn't have 30 availability slots anyway. We probably would have had to ship them out of county, which would have cost even additional funds, because then you get into the private foster care system. So as to address that situation, it was budgeted. It didn't come out of the, you know, it was accommodated within the CYS budget, within the context of that.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I can, Commissioner, just to clarify a couple things, it's my understanding that the water had been shut off a number of days prior to the date. So these children had been up there for days without water for every use that they needed the water for. In addition to that, I think it needs to be clear this was a one-time funding by the county to get some breathing room so our Human Service Department could assist them in finding proper housing. That was the purpose, to get a little breathing room, as opposed to placing them all in foster care.
Yes.
No sooner was the money advanced than we were looking. No sooner was the money advanced, we were looking legally for ways to get it back. Unfortunately, the people came in and paid it. And also, the Red Cross was up there to assist, because we saw them there. I don't think they had the ability to do what was done. And probably Commissioner O'Malley said it the best. Water is life. What are you going to do? You know?
And there was no water buffalo there. No, but these people were literally living with no water. They were turned off, properties condemned, and had no water. Nobody had a water buffalo until the county was involved, and I'll let Commissioner O'Malley expand on that one, but yeah, it was devastating. It really was.
And to address Mrs. Hodowanis' question about policy, CYS, Youth and Family Services, does have a policy as to when they tap these funds to keep families and children intact, and we would follow that policy that's in place. Okay.
Thank you so much for answering all those questions. Joan, did you have anything? Was your question answered sufficiently?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for asking, because it is important for people to understand.
I think, you know, you didn't see that much of an explanation in the local press as to the rationale behind it. And I just think, you know, that a lot of people were curious as to how that came down, because as I said, many people are facing crises, you know, at various levels, and
Yes, I agree. Thanks for asking. And, you know, it was, you know, we're working 24/7. We don't get time off. You know, if something happens, that was Andy and Commissioner O'Malley were on the phones. You know, I was on the phones till 10. I don't know. I think you guys were on until midnight to get that water buffalo, right?
They delivered the water buffalo at 1 o'clock in the morning.
1 o'clock in the
sent
morning.
them a binding letter from the office at 11 o'clock that night. They accepted it. They delivered the water buffalo 2 hours later. And in respect to it being in the local press, I do have to point out that Jeff Horvath from the Scranton Times did ask the question and did not yet receive a written legal opinion. We have it here because of the activity was moving on fast. So they did ask the same question you asked, Joan. I want you to know that out of fairness to him.
we can never trust a family.
Okay. Okay, we're good, Joan. Thanks, Joan.
Nonprofits like the Red Cross, Opportunity Committee Way, I mean, have we tapped into that?
They were up there.
Yeah, they were
on
there.
scene.
And as you're aware, we have a meeting today at 12 o'clock with all of the social service agencies, a follow-up meeting in this room to make additional plans, and the Red Cross has been involved through their subcontract with United Neighborhood Centers to this point in time.
Because I haven't seen any press.
Okay.
Surprised.
They were
We made
available.
sure we
They were-
thanked them when we were there.
We have 9 agencies coming today at 12 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
And I'd like to also take an opportunity to thank Commissioner O'Malley for allowing such great public access and transparency to those that attend our meetings, because it doesn't happen in every place that holds public meetings. So
It's about all of us up here, so.
I appreciate it, and thank you. That's all I have. I'm not going to really go into anything right now, so maybe next meeting we'll discuss all the issues that I have. Hope everyone had a good summer so far. It seems to be going away really quick, and I look forward to going on a vacation soon.
Commissioner Terriani.
We just have to question how it gets to that point in that trailer park, so that doesn't occur
Definitely.
again. Children and youth have been involved with that place for years, according to the elected officials in Archibald. This is not the first time this has happened. I was unaware of that trailer park, where it was or what it was, but when I was able to speak to the mayor and council members in Archibald the following day, I did try to get them that evening. They've been trying to deal with this place forever. They owe the county a considerable amount of taxes. This is not a new problem. It should never get to that point where this is going to happen. And we didn't fix anything yet at all. We put a Band-Aid on it, and hopefully it can get resolved. But we've got to work with the officials and the elected officials in Archibald to go forward and make sure that this does work and it is resolved properly.
Okay. Let's put it real simple. We had 44 families, 30-some children, and I get a text. I think it was Wednesday evening. Group text that went out to everybody from our director, Browning, of Children and Youth Services, telling us that there hadn't been water at the Valley View Estates since Monday. We brought water there. This isn't about Band-Aids. This is about water. This is about life. And we stepped up to the plate to make sure that there was water there. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't like we just called American Water and said, hey, send a water buffalo. That didn't work. We were looking at all different avenues because we called American Water twice. First time, we actually talked to like the emergency services department of American Water. And you know what they said? We'll see you tomorrow when you bring the check. That's what they said. We'll see you tomorrow. So what we did was we went to more like a northeastern person that was on that night through one of the county connections to speak to. And we brokered a deal. I brokered a deal that we would pay the $3,900, that I would just pay the $3,900 if I had to. That was part of it. Right at the bat. I said, I'll pay it right now, the credit card. They weren't accepting that because they weren't open for service at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night at this point. They made us guarantee that we were going to pay the following morning. Had to direct Chief of Staff Andrew Wallace to come down here to email them on our letterhead that we would pay the $3,900 the next morning. And that as soon as they received that email, when they received it, not just our word, received that email, they would send the water buffalo. The water buffalo got there at 1 o'clock in the morning. I asked the chief of police to make sure to let the residents know that the water buffalo was on the way. And they did. And that's that's the chief of Chief Trentley from Archibald. And this was something that, this was something we did fix on the spot. It gave us 30 days to make sure that our children were safe, that they had water, and that they were able to wash their hands and flush their toilets. But so the viewing audience knows, the way they were flushing their toilet for those 2 days before, there was one person had a pool inside the trailer park, and the lady told me, I'm the most popular person here because the people are going over and dipping their buckets into the pool to flush their toilets. This is basic necessities that all of us take for granted every day. Flush your toilet, turn on your sink, wash your hands, simple stuff. Not happening. We stepped up to the plate. We made sure of that. I wasn't sure exactly if that money was going to be something that we were going to get back, or I was going to get back putting the $3,900 up. All we knew was that there was 30-some children involved in this, and children and youth actually had a lot of these children under their jurisdiction, and that they did not have water. That's what our big concern was. And they didn't realize it until that day, that late afternoon. And they were trying to get that water buffalo, but that wasn't happening. So we made sure of that. And that's the way it should be. Our government is here to try to help and protect the people. Like, just so everybody realize this, when Harrisburg was not coming through with a budget 2 years ago, this county made sure, because of a fund balance that the commissioners kept in place, was able to fund all of our departments to make sure that our citizens are safe. This was just something that had to happen, and it wasn't going to pass our desk. It wasn't happening. We were making sure that this was going to happen. And it took till 1 o'clock in the morning for the water buffalo to get there. And it took till 1 o'clock the following afternoon for them to turn the water back on. It took a lot of approvals from the controller's office. It took approvals from Tom Durkin's office and all the commissioners to make sure that that check was set, or I would have paid it myself. And just for the viewing audience, they know, here is the money orders that we received. That's them. There was 4 checks. They came in, John Egan and his mother, Mrs. Barrett, and they came in from Florida because they found out what happened. Their son, who was running the trailer park, is in jail in Berks County on a drug charge. And, you know, he was a derelict landlord. Let's be very truthful about it. He owes $10,000 in land tax, not taking care of the premises, and there was issues in the past. But those issues never came across our desk. They did that night, and we took care of them. And that's what we were supposed to do. And I'd just like to thank Children Youth Services, Area Aging, the Red Cross, and everyone else who was involved in that follow-up day and being there, because it really, really mattered.
Legal requirement for Pennsylvania American Water when they're turning off water service to such a large number of customers.
I'm assuming
To notify the local officials since it's a health and safety issue?
No. I'm assuming that there was some kind of, something was, you understand, the person who ran the trailer park himself, he knew about it, but those people really didn't know about it. So like, they notified, oh, they did notify Archibald? Okay. Okay, well, yeah, they did. They were the condemnation.
Before they, because usually they'll give you a warning. And
Yeah.
Archibald should have been making.
Yeah. Oh, the bill was, the water bill, $25,000 alone. 39 was just a little bit just to give us 30 days for our professionals to get in there and do what's right. And I think everybody stepped up to the plate. I think it was a great day, it really was. And it wasn't easy. It was a lot of work, a lot of phone calls, a lot of headaches. And like, we were at a point where I was going to send our emergency services person to Harrisburg to pick up a water buffalo, fill it up, and bring it up itself. But we finally got it through. And I was trying to say to American Water on the phone, wouldn't it be easier to just turn it on with the guarantee that we're going to take care of this tomorrow? No, even with the document from Mr. Wallace, they wouldn't just turn it on that night. How hard would that have been? You know, there's emergency people on all night long that would have been up there 15 minutes, turned it on. That would have been no water buffalo, no issue, no problem. But they waited till the next day. But thank God they did work with us. They gave us the water buffalo, and their water is back on.
On the other hand, I would like to see a lot more press about the way Pennsylvania American Water handled this entire issue. Okay, that's a for-profit organization, and that's profit with a capital P. And I don't think, they're looking at their profits. They're not looking at the will.
They'll be at our meeting today.
This is about being human. That's what this was about, and that's what we did that night. Let me just get on to it. Just got a quick few things I just want to go over really quick. This past weekend, we had the Arts on the Square. What a great day. We had great weather, nice breeze, wonderful situation. I'm hoping that next year it's 2 days. The turnout, there was thousands of people that walked through the Arts on the Square. Then they got a little bored. They walked down the street to Wyoming Avenue where we had our 3-on-3 basketball tournament. What a nice weekend in downtown Scranton. And I'm not bragging, Lackawanna County puts on a lot of great events, all free, great opportunities for people to come out and enjoy themselves. It was just a big weekend in downtown Scranton. Also, I'd just like to bring up, our Rail Riders are currently 69 wins and 39 losses. We're first in the East Division. We have the best record in the International League. And something that I'm hoping for, and I mentioned it the day that they came back with their championship last year, we're going to actually have the AAA World Series up at our stadium on September 19th. And if the Rail Riders win the Governor's Cup and move forward, everything goes right, they're going to be one of the two teams defending their championship at their field, PNC Field. So I'm hoping everyone gets out there, cheer on the Rail Riders. They do a great job, and hopefully they're going to be in the championship game. Also, I'd like to bring up that we're going to be having the Northeast Pennsylvania Air Show is going to be August 12th and 13th, is back after a 17-year hiatus at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport. Great time for the families. Here's the poster for anyone that would like to come out. Please come on out. The more the merrier. It's going to be a great opportunity for the people to come out and enjoy their families. Okay, so if you're able to, it's been 17 years. It'll be a great opportunity for them to come out. Yeah, the bus service will be provided. If there's wherever you park, there will be buses that will take people back and forth to the airport.
Downtown terminal, there will be buses
there is.
going up on both days, to and from.
Yes, yes, there is.
Back at 5:30.
Yes, there is. Also, on Thursday, August 3rd, there will be Arts Engage at the Trolley Museum, 10 a.m. to noon. Another free event put on by Lackawanna County. Please bring your families out. Great opportunity for the children to have a great time. Also, Thursday, August 3rd, we have the drive-in downtown movies, La La Land, which basically came in second place to the Oscar last year. And that's at the Courthouse Square, Washington Avenue side of the courthouse. Bring your blankets. Come on, enjoy. We'll have free popcorn, good family fun. Hopefully, we have great weather. Saturday, August 5th, our last family fun day is going to be up Ellsworth, 11 to 2 p.m. There'll be hot dogs. There'll be music. Great opportunity for families to come enjoy the lake, enjoy the boundless playgrounds, and they're going to get an opportunity to see where our next the Children's Playhouse is going to be actually under construction, or will be built. Will it be built by then? Are they built? They're building it now, so actually it will be actually up and running at this point. It's a big children's playhouse, which will be right around the same area where the Boundless Playground is. And then on Thursday, August 10th, we're going to have our drive-in downtown movies again, and that's going to be after dusk, and that's Lego Batman. That should be a great movie for all the kids to come out and family members. It'll be a great night. And I'd just like to wish everyone a happy, safe rest of their summer and thank our veteran, Tom Callahan, for coming in today. Thank you, Tom, for your service. Deeply appreciate it. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Niteriani.
Oh, yeah.
Commissioner Cummings.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley.
Yes.
We're going to do the salary board meeting